tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everyone, it's your host Stacy Ike, and we're here for another episode of Spotlight On with the hottest bachelor around, which I get the pleasure to interview, Mr. Shawn Bullard. How we doing?
Hey, what's up, girl?
How
are you?
I'm good. You guys know and love him from WeTV's Match Made in Heaven. So let's find out how this match is going, because as far as I'm concerned, 2 episodes left, and I need to know what's happening. How you doing?
You need to know the tea.
I need to know the tea. Can you just spill a little bit? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's been a great and a crazy ride, crazy in a good way.
Right.
And it's like kind of like bittersweet because it is like the last 2 episodes.
Right.
It's actually going to be like a bonus episode after the finale. So we kind of got 3,
Okay.
But it's getting real spicy. It's getting good, and the ratings are going up each and every week. Yeah.
Speaking of ratings going up, I just found out that you're an Empire fan.
Yes.
I don't know why I just found out the finale, which sucks. But so how was last night? Because I know you were probably losing it like everybody else.
Well, I was definitely my boy, Miss Kevin Parker at Miss Tootsie's world-renowned soul food restaurant in Philly. He had the finale party, so I went there. It was crazy. It was all over the place. I saw your faces
in your tweets. I was like, he's losing it like I was.
Yeah, I was losing it, man. It was all over the place, and all over the place in a great way. And it kind of reminded me of Match Made in Heaven, like where
exactly.
twists and turns. But I definitely see a lot of myself in Lucius.
What?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to respond.
In a good way. I definitely the drive.
Okay.
He's a G. How he command things, run things, or whatever. I saw some vulnerability with him last night.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's I can relate to a lot of the characters. I definitely believe though I should have been a better. I could have been a better role of the head of Empire Security. To my man Lee Daniels, or whatever, represent Philly. Please find a place for me on the show.
Right after it's over, I'll be auditioning. Okay, anyway, we'll get your audition tape out. So something that was really interesting to me is when you started the show, you said on The View that you wanted to bring back a black gentleman, and specifically I wrote down, "We're not thugs." So now it's been a little bit over a month, started February 4th, now it's March, who knows what. But point is do you feel like in that time you lived up to that?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
And especially, when you watch the other reality shows.
Right.
And then mine comes on that same week.
Right.
You can see the clear difference in how they treat the women on their show and how I treat the women on my show.
Right.
So without a reasonable doubt. And then also like the fans, all the women in the world that love Match Made in Heaven, that go and look at it, they all say the same thing. So it's very humbling, but I definitely feel, I did bring that home.
So you said, at this point, people were definitely asking while watching the show, like, seriously, why did this guy have to do this? I feel like you are a gentleman. I feel like you could do this without a TV show. Did you feel like you really needed the show, or was it a place for you to learn more about yourself, do you feel like?
I didn't really need the show, but it definitely was a platform for me. I grew after the show. It helped me become more of a man in the regard of relationships and being like more firm with women, and like I'm a guy, if you like me, I like you. And sometimes that can lead you down like love triangles, because you might be seeing somebody, then it's another girl that likes you, and next thing you know,
somebody else likes me.
Yeah, like next thing you know, you with you got in a love triangle, or maybe even with 3 other girls, and trying to be a nice guy, and now your feelings are all caught up. And Match Made in Heaven taught me to say no, even if I'm feeling you. No, someone else.
Do you think Match Made in Heaven taught you that, or Maggie taught you that? Because I'm thinking Maggie had a bigger influence.
Maggie definitely. Maggie had influence other way. Mama Maggie's on point. But no, the eliminations definitely taught me that sometimes in the eliminations, you heard me say, you know, I'm making a decision, whether it's right, wrong, or you got to make a decision, you know. And a lot of guys, we don't do that. We just ride it out. We just ride it out. We know the inevitable is going to happen. One day y'all gonna, you know, ambush us and meet. It's gonna be the three of y'all waiting on our driveway, and then it's gonna happen.
Why is it gonna be three? What?
3 or 2. And, you know, Match Made in Heaven taught me to say, listen, you know, before it gets to that point, I'm feeling you feeling me. I might cry, you might cry, but it's someone else that I'm feeling more than you, and I'm not going to waste your time.
Were you originally fearful of having 24 women to choose from, or was that like, this is paradise?
Nah, I wasn't fearful.
So this was paradise?
It wasn't paradise. Listen, one woman is work.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right.
But a lot of ways, Match Made in Heaven was like, kind of like how, you know, I've been a very successful bachelor, and, you know, I didn't want to be that anymore. So, but, you know, I was the guy built for it. I feel that way.
What does a successful bachelor mean?
A successful bachelor is a guy that is, you know, that has, you know, that knows how to court women, that, you know, is...
Y'all look at my face. Y'all look at my face. Y'all look at my face. Okay, continue.
She don't know that Shawn Bullard treatment yet, ladies and gentlemen. But
continue.
You know, that you know, a guy that actually successfully dates and doesn't dog out women and has, you know, women that feeling him, and he's successful and he keeps it. He knows how to, you know, play the game a little bit. Okay. And you know, that's something that I didn't want to be, you know, successful at anymore. So that's one of the reasons why I went on the show.
And I love the people that you did bring. I love that you did have your mom and your pastor. I thought that was actually really cool. So do you feel like there's any time within taping and getting to know this experience, getting to know yourself, that you regret having those two on the show at all?
No, not at all. I actually thought maybe I was, because I'm a manly guy, so I was feeling like, you know, I don't need no co-stars to baby me around. Right. But for one, having, you know, we all have our parents on borrowed time once they get at a certain age, and to have my mom as like a reality TV star, that's priceless. Pastor Jay, when I met him, you know, him being a guy that's used to dealing with like wealthy black men by being the Chapman for the Colts, you know, we just hit it off. And then I saw his place, and he was able to, you know, he never got in my way. So it worked out fine.
Cool, okay. Yeah. So would you say, you know, when we watch these 2 episodes, like, what do we need to have? Do we need to have boiled popcorn, strawberries? Do we need to have tissues? Like, what?
You need to have all that. Popcorn, you know, popcorn, wine, tissues. You need the, you know, even some. No, this is a kid friendly. This is a kid friendly.
Be real with us. Be real with us.
You know, well, ladies, you know, you might, you know, sometimes, you know, it gets sexy. You know, you might touch yourself. I don't know, but you need to bring
really let y'all know.
You need to bring everything for these next episodes tonight. You know,
tonight's mama's
is Mamageddon.
Right. That's scary.
If the 5 women that are left, you know, I meet their moms, and I meet their moms in a very uncomfortable spot for a man.
Be real with me, like how, because you've already taped it, you've already experienced it, you've already wrote in your diary or whatever happened.
Right.
Really, what was that moment like where you have 5 mothers interviewing you, basically? Really, what's that like?
5 moms interviewing me, and you know, you guys are going to hear it first right here on Buzz. You know,
I told you I'll get the exclusives. Okay,
tonight,
continue.
I meet 5 moms, you know, and I didn't even know. This is totally real when y'all see it, but I got dropped off in front of a bridal boutique on Rodale Drive in Beverly Hills. Okay. And that's where I meet the moms.
Who dropped you off and was so mean? Oh my God.
5 moms in a bridal shop. And that's the first time they're seeing me, and it's the first time I'm seeing them.
Oh my God.
So that's the nice episode. Okay. Now, you talk about sweating. I walked right in. My forehead started sweating. My armpits my armpits was tearing up.
Wow.
And no, so, you know, but, you know, that's the role, and it actually it's very uncomfortable in the beginning, but it kind of works out. But when the moms get in the house and the girls, that's when it's going to go crazy.
Like, Lord.
It's going to go crazy.
I can see.
Yeah.
So so you know, hopefully we do get through this episode calmly and peacefully, and then when we finally get to the finale, because like you've already chosen her.
Yes.
Which is exciting.
Yes.
But since we don't know, and in case we don't love her, in case we wanted it to be somebody else, defend who she was. What was the ultimate thing? Because right now we're at 5 women. So what made it to this one girl?
That's a great question. She was a girl that I saw a lot of myself in her, like drive.
Okay.
She's very
thinking, right?
Yeah.
Drive.
She's very independent.
Okay.
You know, I see her grow up right in front of my eyes. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful person, and I was able to get deep. You know, she's someone that's very guarded, but I was able to get past her guard. So and once I saw that,
that's good.
Once I saw that, you know, and she opened up to me, you know, it was
She
like
was the one.
She was the one.
So is the scene? Do you propose in the season finale?
You gotta watch the show. I can't give
So
y'all
you're not. I mean, look.
everything.
I told them I'd get 3 exclusive. We're only on 1.
I can't give y'all everything.
No, because I've just heard a lot of people saying, you know, if you pick her, are you going to marry her? And your responses were, you know, let's see where it goes. But if it works out, yes. So I'm trying to figure out, are we engaged already, or what happened?
It's chess. It ain't checkers. See, sometimes
Sometimes
I say stuff to y'all. Sometimes I say stuff to y'all just to throw y'all off, man.
That you better not be doing that here.
You know what I'm saying? No,
I'm ready for you.
Yeah, I gave you a little exclusive tonight. You know,
All right.
I got you.
I ain't mad. Okay, so what are the future plans for the 2 of you?
Well, you know, we'll see.
Not necessarily relationship-wise, but, you know, are you guys going to be the couple that travels, or do you want to inspire other couples? Like, what do you? Because it's a really amazing thing to find love, to take it seriously, and to profess it. So if you're going to be on a show and we're going to see this final episode and you will be professing it, what do you guys want to do as a couple, maybe to inspire other people, or
you know, basically
keep it all to yourself?
Basically, say how, you know, we hit it off, how we found each other. You know, we didn't find each other, you know, on the show. We found each other while on the show, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I went on the show and she went on the show, you still got to get to know somebody.
Right.
And, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, it's just show how you going to fall in love with just a couple of weeks and all of that. You know what? Nah. You know, you go through a lot on these shows, man.
Yeah.
And
tell us a little bit about that. Because there's so many of them, and I never know.
See, that's what people don't understand. Like, you go through a lot on these shows because I do have 24 women, you know, on the show, right. And as you know, a lot of them, as we see, really didn't represent who I was. There were a good amount that did, that I did like. Right. So you get kind of caught up, you get distracted. You know what I'm saying? You might be feeling one, but then there's another one hitting you right here.
Right.
So
secret up their sleeve.
Right. They might lose interest or whatever. They might be frustrated, and you trying to figure out why they're not feeling you on this particular date. So it's a lot to go through in a short period of time, which makes you hone in and get to know someone, you know, very, very quickly, very, you know, and easily. You know, you go through that, it makes you say, you know what, wow, I kind of got to know you better than I probably would have in the real life. But once the show is over, you want that fantasy world that the show brings to spill into the real life.
I'm like, keep paying for our meals, please.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm the real thing, so that's not a problem. You know.
Cool. Put that out there. I like that. Put that out there. Drop that. Okay. Did the show give you guys any chance to get to know each other outside of taping?
No, after it was over.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
You know, definitely after it was over. Yeah.
That's interesting. So what would you say, you know, a guy that was in your shoes, a successful bachelor, as you said, you know, at the point where he is looking for love, what's your advice to him if he's not going to get on the show? What's something he needs to look for, maybe strip away from, get rid of, pay attention to? What are some of those key things? And then, of course, to a woman as well.
Basically, the woman that, you know, when you go to bed, you thinking about her. You know, also the one that turns you on. The one that you know, when you do something well or something well happens to you in your life that day, she's the first person you want to, you know, tell about, you know, your achievements. You know, that's when you know she's a friend, and a friend turns into a lover.
Something else. I guess we can't really be friends. Okay,
You know what I mean?
got you. So I am hearing now that you're writing a book, or 2 books,
Yes.
actually. And the title for one is For the Love of Real Estate, and the other one is Intimacy is More Important Than Love.
Yes.
Can we talk about the second one for a minute?
I love that. I love this.
Happening?
This book is actually, good job. This book is
Drew always got me, don't worry.
This Intimacy More Important Than Love is actually taken over from the focus of that I had with For the Love of Real Estate.
Okay.
And I truly believe that we need to shake up the romance world. I do. And this is an out of box way of thinking in order to find or be in a successful relationship. And I believe that we have been taught backwards. Intimacy is stronger than love, even though love is just as important. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, no.
All right? If I was to tell you, and this is the epitome of it.
Okay.
If I was to tell you for the next 5 years, you can go out, date, you can't get married, you can't fall in love, but you can have sex. Or for the next 5 years, you can fall in love, you can get married, but you can't have sex. Which one would be harder for most people?
Most people I can enter. Okay, so most people I feel like would be the first one. Me would be the second one.
Okay.
Is the one that I'd be about, is what I'm saying. So I don't know if I answer that right, but
Exactly.
I prefer the falling in love versus
the fall in love.
Yes.
But for most people,
they would definitely prefer
exactly.
Yeah.
Love will basically have you take care of your children, you respect your baby mama.
Right.
But intimacy will have you leave your family. Intimacy will have you growing together into a relationship. And, love without intimacy, you see it all the time. It's a couple just existing. They're in the bed, one is sleeping on one side of the bed facing the opposite direction, and vice versa on the other side.
You think love without intimacy, is that what you mean?
Love without intimacy.
Okay, I can see this. So intimacy without love, though, you don't feel like
Intimacy without love can turn into love. But love without intimacy can turn into breaking up.
Okay, I can see that. I can see it.
Come on, ladies out there. When you've had great, and there's 3 things in the book that I describe makes up intimacy.
Okay.
It's like a trilogy. 1, sexual attraction. 2 is sex, and then sexual chemistry. Those 3 things make up intimacy. Right? Now, if you always had that guy, I've even had a girl that I wasn't at the time of my life, I wasn't ready for love or whatever, but the intimacy grew and became so powerful. It was like, wow, I never thought I would be liking Reggie, right? This is women, liking Reggie or liking Tyrone, but man, he throwing it on me and the intimacy. Now you're starting to fall for this guy. But it's a lot of women or men
I was like, because I was going to turn it back around.
Out there that you love this woman without a reasonable doubt. But if you coming home, y'all not touching each other, y'all not holding hands, y'all not talking, you're not kissing, you're not making love to each other, that love starts to fade.
Okay, so
how can one be stronger than the other when it's, the laws of nature is, if one is strong, one is strong.
Well, I don't think they necessarily have to be pinned against each other. I mean,
they're not pinned against each other. They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. The way you describe the second situation, that doesn't sound like love. That sounds, like a dwindling roommate or whatever. So I get that, but
it's a lot of dwindling roommate relationships. Marriages.
I know it's very sad. And I was just talking to a friend about this a couple of days ago. So I definitely understand that. But when you mention the intimacy and that growing into something, don't you notice that when it comes to a guy, though, if there is a girl who is putting it on him, he's getting it, they have a very good intimate relationship, he still leaves. He still says he doesn't love her. He still, there's a lot of things that happen with that.
But see, is that intimacy or that's just good sex? It takes 3 things to the trilogy. Sexual chemistry.
There's so much right now, I don't.
Exactly. See, we're not just talking about, intimacy is more than just sex.
Definitely agree.
And sexual chemistry goes past you getting old, me getting old, my six-pack turned into a bare belly, your nice-sized booty turned into a fat booty.
Right.
When you see people that are old in a relationship and they're still holding hands, that's intimacy. That big bare belly, that's still my bare belly. That she got bigger, but that's still my boo.
Right.
That's intimacy.
Okay.
And if you don't have that in a relationship, your relationship will fail. And it's not saying that you can't find that later in your relationship, but no relationship can thrive in love without intimacy. And that's why intimacy is more important. It's basically teaching or telling women, thinking out of the box, that you have to hone in, especially with a man, more on the intimacy part of your relationship than just loving your man. Okay. Because that's what a man responds to. If that was if it wasn't the case, then most men in the heat of the moment cheat on their spouse.
Yes.
If that is sex, that's the power of sex. If it was in the heat of the...
But that's not a good excuse, though. We've heard that before. We've heard the power of sex interrupting a relationship.
It's not about an excuse. It's about the reality of it. It's about the reality.
It's a tough reality to swallow.
That's why That's why the book is going to teach you why it's important, and we need to start honing in on it.
So with the book, do you feel like, did it start from this experience?
No, it started
did it get honed in from this experience, you think?
It honed in from my experience of life and just being with like amazing women that men would jump over this table to get to, and I'll be with them. And the intimacy part was missing, even though I was madly in love with that person, but it was still something missing. The love kept me there, but the intimacy had me lose my focus.
And with intimacy, you don't just mean sex, you just mean intimacy overall.
I mean intimacy overall.
Okay.
You don't even, intimacy overall.
Okay.
This book is for people that's waiting to get married to have sex. You still need to have intimacy. They still have intimacy. They still touch at night. They still kiss at night. They still cuddle up a little bit. If you do not have that in a relationship for whatever reason, whether it's finances, and also in the book it teaches, for all you successful career women out there, I give the advantage to the career-oriented successful woman than the woman that's just pretty, that doesn't have nothing going for herself. Because I feel exactly.
Interesting. Like I'm looking at my hair and I'm like, okay, keep
exactly.
going.
Because a lot of the stereotypes is the girls is real pretty with the nice body, don't have nothing to that don't have nothing to offer are the ones that's winning.
That's a very interesting.
But I feel that they don't. They're not winning. I feel that the career woman is the one I give the edge to.
Well, you might see it like that, but I actually just had an interview a couple weeks ago that it agreed with you. The person agreed with you, but they were saying that it is harder for a career woman, especially you'll hear it from a woman who is in this career. We see a lot of successful Black women. We live in the industry, and a lot of them aren't getting that type of relationship you're talking about. Something that does include love, intimacy, respect, all of it. Because they are so busy. So does the book give advice on weaving in and out?
It's going to give on all of that. It's going to give, and it's a 3-part book, so it's definitely, yeah.
Okay, all right. So with that said, is there any details you want to talk about for the love of the real estate?
Love of real estate, just to be quick, is just basically, I'm a real estate developer. That's what I really do. That's my passion. I've been doing that for a decade now.
Yeah.
And it teaches the correlation. It teaches you about real estate, and it also teaches you about, once again, relationships. And I believe real estate and love life kind of go hand in hand. You can see a true correlation with them. With real estate, you need a strong foundation in order to build a home.
Interesting.
With a person, they need to have a strong foundation in order for you to build a relationship.
Right.
You got to know the trends, and you got to know the trends of real estate. Is it rising or is the value falling? You got to know the trends of a person. Are they dropping off or are they coming on strong to you?
I like that.
And if you know the trends in real estate, then you know when to sell or know when to keep. If you know the trends of a person, you know when to sell the relationship or you know when to keep the relationship.
So 2 potential bestsellers basically right here in front of you guys.
It is
I got
true.
to interview them first before you guys did. So you get to be a part of it. And when are these books coming out? Do we
later this year.
He's like, so I'm gonna let y'all know.
Like later, no, because it's definitely right now in the ghostwriting stages, and and then we start shopping around, and if I have a couple like one publishing deal.
Okay.
possibly on the table, but you know, these books are so powerful and they're being recepted or accepted so well that I might self-publish them myself. But one will be out this year, definitely.
Okay, so for the one that's coming out this year, when you are ready, come back here and we'll talk about it.
Definitely.
Yes?
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Where can everybody keep in touch with you? Tweeting during the last 2 episodes.
Yes, Shawn _Bullard, SHAWN _BULLARD, and that's on Twitter and on Instagram.
Love, love, love. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you tune in on WeTV, especially tonight. It's going to be crazy with 5 moms. I'm scared, but I'll be there. So tweet me live at One Take Stace. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. You guys know where I am. I'm usually here at AfterBuzz, so I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.